Scientists have discovered that the Antarctic is warming much more rapidly than what can be seen in other regions. This is causing issues for Greenland, which is located between the Atlantic Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. 3/4 of Greenland is covered by an ice sheet that, over the decades, has been discovered to be continuously getting thinner. As temperatures get higher, ice will continue to melt, which is causing a rise in sea level. The estimated sea level rise of the entire Greenland ice sheets melting is about 20 feet. More than half of sea level rise today is said to be due to the melting of the ice sheets.
Hi, my name is Tiffany, and I'll be talking about what's causing the Greenland ice sheet to melt. So the main reason why the Greenland ice sheet is melting is because of the warming of Earth through human activities, fossil fuel burning, and deforestation. Greenland's air temperature has increased about 7 degrees since 1991, as shown in the slides, and because the Arctic is warming rapidly, this also affects the Greenland ice sheet to thin and melt. This is mainly caused by carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases emissions that have raised temperatures, especially in the poles, resulting in the Greenland ice sheet to melt rapidly. There has also been a recent study from UC Santa Cruz where the descending meltwater leads to a gravitational energy that is converted into heat, causing the ice sheet to melt even faster. The effect of meltwater descending from the surface of the ice sheet is actually the largest heat source beneath its base. They measure the melted water on the surface and its elevation, as well as its distance above sea level, and a strong gravitational energy was indicated. This gravitational energy of meltwater forming at the surface converts to heat as the water flows through cracks of the ice sheet. Measurements are difficult to find as there are many cracks and chunks of missing ice. However, it is safe to say that this gravitational energy converted to heat, along with the increasing temperature of Earth, will cause the Greenland ice sheet to melt even faster. The factors that could increase melting are the continuation of human activities that require fossil fuel burning, deforestation, more CO2, and other greenhouse gas emissions, and the constant warming of Earth, especially in the Arctic.
Due to Earth's warming climate as a result of increasing human activity, the Greenland ice sheet is subject to considerable shrinkage from relatively subtle changes. Surface melting and iceberg calving leads to a rapid decline in ice mass. In fact, Greenland loses more ice than it gains each year, at an average rate of 279 billion metric tons per year based on satellite data from NASA. This loss contributes greatly to global sea level rise, which is the most prominent problem we face with the accelerating rate of ice loss in ice sheets. Global sea level rise is expected to increase as continental ice sheets continue to melt. The latest projection by IPCC suggests a rise of 0.5 to 1.2 meters depending on the emission scenario by the year 2100. In the last 26 years, Greenland's ice has contributed 0.4 inches to sea level rise. The shrinking ice sheet and sea level rise will exacerbate coastal erosion, storm surges, and tropical cyclones. Not only does that increase the risk of flooding, it also speeds up the process of global warming because the region around the Greenland ice sheet will absorb more solar radiation without the vast expanse of ice and snow, thus warming the planet. Less sea ice means less ice albedo, which means more heat is absorbed into the ocean due to the ice's weakened ability to reflect the sun's rays back into space. And as this ice melts, darker patches of ocean will start to emerge, and the eliminating effect that previously cooled the poles creates warmer air temperatures and in turn disrupts normal patterns of ocean circulation. The melting of Greenland's ice sheet also has great societal importance as it directly impacts those who live on coastal settlements worldwide. According to Andrew Shepard, lead author and scientist from the University of Leeds in the United Kingdom, for every centimeter rise in global sea level, another 6 million people are exposed to coastal flooding around the planet. Based on current trends, 1 meter of sea level rise would displace more than 100 million people globally, which is challenging for environmental refugees. Areas that are most susceptible to sea level rise are Shanghai, China, and Bangladesh, India, as they are lesser developed countries. Shanghai and Bangladesh are particularly vulnerable to flooding due to their low elevation and close proximity to the ocean. According to the Climate Reality Project, it has been estimated that by 2050, 1 in every 7 people in Bangladesh will be displaced by climate change, specifically with a projected 19.6-inch rise in sea level. This region may lose approximately 11% of its land by then, and up to 18 million people may have to migrate because of sea level rise alone. This flooding and displacement of people will threaten the economy via damaged assets like land, buildings, and infrastructure, GDP loss, and money spent on adaptation methods.
If the Greenland ice sheets were to continue on its directed path and continue melting, predictions show an increase of global sea level by more than 7 meters. There is a lot of uncertainty with the melting of the ice sheets. The complex relationship between where the ice meets the atmosphere, the ice meets the ocean, or the ice meets the land makes for numerous varying factors. Scientists predict that the melting of the Greenland ice sheets will have impacts on the ocean circulation and other ocean properties, nutrient cycling, and ecosystem functioning. These impacts on the ocean and the environment can range from a local to global scale. Coastal cities would also become submerged and land area would decrease significantly.
Scientists have proposed different solutions such as seeding the atmosphere with sunlight-blocking chemicals to cool the planet or pumping seawater onto the ice. They all have received criticism for its expensive cost and its potential risks. Today, scientists are proposing new solutions to protect the Greenland ice sheets, which includes building underwater walls built by robots. Building underwater walls was proposed to tackle the problem at the source. These underwater walls are projected to prevent warm ocean water from eroding the glacier's ocean-facing edges. These walls would extend from the ocean floor to the base of the glacier's floating ice. Another proposed method was pumping cold water through vast tunnels under the ice to thicken it and to keep it from sliding into the ocean. Princeton University's glaciologist Michael Wolovic says, "These engineering projects could delay much of the polar glaciers from melting into the sea for centuries."